Praise Radio.
Hi guys, welcome to Women 101. It's your girl Halaveshia Hall, and I'm so grateful that you guys decided to take some time out and tune in with me tonight. You could have totally been doing anything else, but you decided to come and tune in to Women 101 with me. So I welcome you guys. I welcome my women, and I was advised this week that I have guys that listen to the show and watch the show live on Facebook. So I welcome my guys as well. I really do appreciate you guys. And just like the song that just played is that's been my song since December 1st, and that's more than anything. And I just love God more than anything, and that's just something that has just been with me. I start my day with that song. I end my day with that song. Before I go to bed, I play that song. It's just a beautiful song, and it's just so true to who I am. So before we get started, there are a couple of things that I wanted to say before I introduce my first guest. First of all, I'd like to say rest in peace to my pastor, the Reverend Dr. Kenneth E. Marcus of Turner Chapel AME Church, who passed away Friday morning. It's very, very, very disheartening and sad, very surreal to me. I've never experienced this, losing my pastor, but just to my Turner Church family, you are in my prayers. I want to thank you guys once again, like I said, for tuning in. I want to thank God for an amazing, amazing turnout for our meeting in the ladies' room, ATL, that was held here in Atlanta at Belhaven University this Saturday. It was a great turnout. We had great speakers. We had London Parks of Shop Vintage Allure, Jill Carter of J. Charisse Image Consulting, Alex Valenciano, the Credit and Financial Guru, Angelica Pugh, the Creative Director of Angel Lake Choreography. We had J.L. Harris, who's a best-selling author, and a special, special, special shout-out to my friend Kimberly Renee for her idea of the vision canvases. We did not do vision boards. We created vision canvases. Thank you to Dr. Hall, who is the dean of Belhaven University, that allowed us that space. So just wanted to say thank you to those people. Thank you for just being who you are. It's amazing the story that I have behind the connection that I have with Dr. Hall, that I actually met the young lady that connected us in the ladies' room, and my events are called Meeting in the Ladies' Room. So that's something that's weird and just like the universe designed it, I guess. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump right into our first guest, Miss Solange, who is a CPA and the creator of the Corporate Sister. If you're on Instagram and you follow the Corporate Sister, you know that daily she's dropping nuggets for us to become better corporate business women, and I love it. I appreciate her for coming, for tuning in with us, being on the line with me all the way from Rhode Island. Gonna just jump right in. Solange, if you go ahead and tell us who are you? Who is Solange?
Well, hi. First of all, thank you for having me on the show. I'm very honored to be a guest on the show and very excited to be sharing my message here with you all. So my name is Solange Lopes. I am a CPA by trade, and I'm also the founder of the career, business, and lifestyle website for women called the Corporate Sister. So the Corporate Sister's mission is to help women, especially minority women, find and do work they love, build a fulfilling career, and live life on their own terms. It's a place where, as women, we come to form a community and share resources for us to really follow our God-given purpose, do work that matters to us and our community, and, establish our own life on our own terms. As Halaveshia mentioned, you can find me on social media, pretty much on every platform, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm very active on Instagram, so if you're on Instagram, join me on the Corporate Sister. But that's a little bit about me. The Corporate Sister started towards the end of 2013 as a small blog, more out of my own, frustration as a woman of color in corporate America. And I noticed that, as women in general and as women of color in particular, we don't necessarily always have the right tools and the right resources or are in the right rooms to be able to really grow and flourish in our careers or in our businesses. And I wanted to start, a community and a resource that would, help us find the tools, the inspiration, the motivation to really do work that matters and work that's aligned with our purpose. So that's what the Corporate Sister is, and that's what my mission is with it, in a few words.
You don't have to do a few words. We're having a conversation here, so we're talking for a good little minute here. It's just me and you right now. So you actually went into my next question of what is the Corporate Sister, but I want to back up because as we know, the purpose of the show, like I told you, Women 101, we're empowering women one word at a time. Something you just said stood out to me, and it was that you began small in 2013, basically to actually fix a a concern that you had. You didn't just complain about it. You jumped in and you did something about it. So when you started your blog, did you expect it to be the corporate sister?
I didn't. I'm passionate about writing, and one of my God-given gifts, I believe, is writing and communicating by writing. And for me, it was a powerful way to really get my ideas out there, and also to start, researching information that I myself needed, because I knew that if it were a problem for me, then it would be a problem for other women, for most women, actually. And so I wanted to start researching and talking about it and writing about it. I didn't think about it in terms of, a business. I just wanted to get out there and start, talking about something that I believed mattered and would make a difference to other women. So yes, it started very small.
That's good. It started small. Your passion actually became your business. So because this is what you do full time now, right?
Yes, so I've been out of corporate for a few months now, and now I dedicate myself to it part time and other business pursuits as well. But this is my main pursuit.
That's wonderful. So
Yeah.
if I was a blogger or a beginning blogger, a writer, or this is just and I'm just starting, how long would you say the process took, or what was the dedication behind your process to actually now have moved out of the corporate world to this is your baby, this is what you do, like your passion is what you're making a living doing?
Well, blogging is definitely not a get rich quick scheme. So let me be let me start by being honest. It does require a lot of work, dedication, and commitment, especially if you're doing it on the side, as I started doing it on the side myself. And when I started doing it, I wasn't really looking, as I mentioned, to turn it into a business or to even make income through it. So it that way it helped me. It helped me grow it and really put in the sweat equity at first without being too concerned about it making money or not. However, nowadays, in between social media, and there are so many tools out there at the disposal of, bloggers or influencers in general, that, it can be easier for a beginning blogger to grow and develop a blog easier than it was before. But the other side of the issue is that there are a gazillion bloggers out there nowadays. There are a gazillion blogs out there, so the competition is also very acute. And when I talk about competition, in terms of things like sponsorships or making money in the influencing and marketing sphere of blogging, so that, that can be an obstacle as well. How long would it take to grow a beginning blog into something that can generate some revenue? Um, Not long. I would say, if you can dedicate yourself for more than a year, you can probably start seeing results if you really study it, use the right tools, get out there on social media. You can start seeing results these days. Yeah.
So when you say results, because I get what you're saying, it's kind of like a blogging kind of it's kind of oversaturated to a certain extent at the point. To me, at this point, I think everybody is wanting to be a blogger and wanting to blog. And I think the frustration comes in when, like you said, it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's not something that happens overnight. When you say like the corporate system is mainly a blog, but you had to add resources to it, correct? Like it's not just a blog anymore. You're a network. You're a community, correct?
That's correct. And what we have to understand is, a blog is only a platform. It's like, going to a store. It's only the front window of the store. It's what's behind, the blog that really turns it into a business, whether you're offering products and services, or you're offering coaching, or you're offering different things that you can market through the blog, through your message, within the blog. We've seen a lot of bloggers who've written books, or, they have different streams of income or different products and services, such as coaching, ebooks. So that's really what the business is. Your blog is really your front window. It's really what people see, so, they can get in at first. So blogging per se is not, it's not the core of a business.
There are products behind it. So what does the what do you offer at the corporate sister?
Well, as in the corporate sister, I do offer, career and business coaching. I also have an ebook out called "Girl, Take Back Your Career." It's available on Amazon. I have various digital assets available for sale, as well as different services, all career and business related for women. So behind the corporate sister, there's an array of services and products that are available to help us as women get closer to our purpose when it comes to our careers and businesses.
And you say your passion behind this is totally women and per se women of color, correct?
Yes.
Or just women in general?
Women in general, of course. I'm a woman of color, so when I tell my story, it comes from my perspective as a woman of color, and so of course I have an acute sensitivity to what we women of color face at work and in business. Most women face the famous glass ceiling, but for Black women and women of color in general, we face a concrete wall. Right? The odds are really higher and more challenging for us, and I make sure that through my message. That I make clear that, as women of color, we need a lot of help, and we need a lot of, a lot of support, mentoring, sponsorship to help us, grow as we should.
So with today's influx of business owners and entrepreneurs, do you feel that the entrepreneur spirit is in everyone? Do you think some people have to be in the corporate world or in a business?
Definitely not everyone, has to be, an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is a very hard and complex journey. And, and some people are more comfortable in a corporate setting where, they don't have to find clients or do certain things that entrepreneurship requires you to do. There's such a big hype, especially on social media, around entrepreneurship and hustling and grinding and working for yourself, and all of these false ideas, about entrepreneurship. And I caution people to just, jump too fast or be disillusioned by the whole being an entrepreneur or working for yourself thing. It really has to be a personal decision that comes from a place of knowing that it's really what you want, and that it's really aligned with your personal and professional purpose.
You know what, you said something, Dan. I really like that because I'm in corporate America, and I get what you're saying. It's like I constantly have to remind my followers and my women and just the people that I deal with in general, it's okay to have a job. It's like, here lately, people are making it look as if you don't own your own business, if you're not a shepreneur, if you're not, out here grinding and no sleep, sleep is for suckers, and if you're not out here getting it and you're still working for somebody, like you're doing bad. And I'm just like, okay, well, I think, who's gonna be working for? Somebody got to work for somebody. You know what I'm saying? Even when you open up your own business, you're gonna want people to work for you. But it's just such a stigma on it now, on just like the regular working person is being made to feel like they're doing something wrong in life because they get up and they clock in and they go to work or their salary,
Absolutely not. And I totally disagree with this view because when you clock in, you're going to work, you're also bringing some entrepreneurship to your job. You're bringing innovation, you're bringing creativity to your job. So in some sense, we're all entrepreneurs. But it really doesn't matter if you're doing the work in an office, for somebody else or, grinding on your own or even raising kids. The real point is, are we doing something that's really aligned with our purpose? Are we really doing something that's fulfilling to us, that's making a difference in our lives and in our communities and around us? That's the most important part. I'd much rather be, in a corporate setting where I'm making a difference and, I can advance myself and advance my community than having my own business and having no direction and focus. You see what I mean? Like,
Yes.
we really have to understand what's best for each and every one of us. I love watching, CEOs of companies like Coca-Cola, who's a woman, and she's making a difference. She's showing other women that it is possible, and she's doing that in a corporate setting. So there's really nothing wrong with it. As a matter of fact, I applaud a lot of women who are fighting in corporate, because sometimes the fight is harder in corporate than out there on your own.
It's really harder in corporate, and like I said, it's become so, it kind of gets annoying, because they it's like they boost these people up to become entrepreneurs, and some people don't think for themselves, right? Some people just only go by what they see on social media and what they, these people are brainwashed, and so they jump up and they just quit their jobs. They have no direction, because they're going out because they got this one dream and they got this one skill that they can do, that they feel they're supposed to just do it for themselves and become entrepreneurs, and then you set them up for a downfall. Nobody really exposes the behind the scene of what being an entrepreneur really means. Like, it's not
Yes.
every day. This is not something you just wake up, like you say. This is not a get rich quick scheme either to be an entrepreneur. This thing takes hustle, unless you just come from that,
Yes.
and then somebody gave you a business and then you just take over and yada yada yada. But I'm so glad you said this tonight, because I say this often, because like I say, I'm in the corporate world. I work for a corporation that I love. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, my company, I love my company. I love my job. Like, I like getting up, going to work. But the other thing you also said was, guess what my job does for me? My job lines me up with my passion. Like, literally,
Yes.
the other day, on my job, I was at a conference, a women's league conference with Lisa Nichols, that the job brought in to host this women's conference. What do
Yeah,
I
I
do?
saw your pictures.
Yes. So, and that was my company. Like, and I'm excited. Like, I like my company. What I do, because I do believe that I have a gift in me to go out and be and do more than what I do in the office. I utilize my funds from the office and the connections that I make and the flexibility that I have on my job to go and do and be me, And I just feel like
Absolutely.
God will align that up at the proper time. If his plans are for me not to go in and clock into my job anymore, he will align it up for me to,
Yeah.
phase right out of that. So this is like a
Yeah.
great conversation to me, because for me, and I'm quite sure for my listeners, I have them, they're chiming in, they're chatting, and someone just said, I agree. We know that everyone cannot be an entrepreneur. Therefore, someone has to work, Somebody got to do it.
Yes.
Your bit.
Yes. And that is,
Go ahead.
yep. No, that's the secret. And you said the word. The word is alignment. Whatever it is that is aligned with your purpose. All of us have different purposes, right? Like in the Christian body, we all have a purpose. An arm is not a leg, an eye is not a nose. We all have a purpose. Some of us, our purpose is to work within the mission of a company. For others, it's to create a company with a certain mission. There's really no better or less. It's really what it is that God has called us to do, but we miss the mark when we miss that preparation process and that, discernment within ourselves to say, this is what I love to do. This is where I use my natural gifts and my natural talents. This is what God has called me to share with people, whether it's from the pulpit or my business or my cubicle. And that's really what makes the difference. We'd rather look on social media rather than look within and ask ourselves, what did God ask me to do?
Oh my God, this social media, this social media thing is getting ridiculous. And
It is.
it is to another extreme right now in life. Social media has come in and removed just the personability, like people being personable and just
Yes.
touchable and
Yes.
kind. And social media has created such a fog and such a non-reality until it's actually sickening. Like, you wonder, I sit sometimes and I wonder, like, what was going on in life before Facebook and before social media, before Instagram and Twitter, and it creates so many bullies and just mean people. And like I said, you got your cliques, and what people fail to realize is everybody is not what they post to be. You know what I'm saying? What they POST
No.
to be. I can go and take a picture and stand, just like the picture that you saw me. Okay, I was with Lisa Nichols. Fortunately, that day I did have a quick conversation with Lisa, right? But any other day, I could have just been in the right place for the right 5 seconds and just took this picture with her. And now everybody thinks, oh, you got it going on because you were with Lisa Nichols or a star. That's not reality. That's not real life.
It's not.
And
it really isn't real life.
Yeah, and like social media has it set up. Social media, there's reality TV. Let me tell you, I cannot stand it. Like, this reality TV, because you have so many. You used to be the kids that you had to like filter stuff from, and children and minors and immature people, but it's adults. It's weak-minded adults that these people are just manipulating them. Just manipulating life. They feel if your belt doesn't have isn't name brand, or if you're not wearing the latest gear, or if you're not at this place at this time, or with these people with this party, like, you're nothing. And and people are actually believing this about themselves.
They really are, and that's where we really have to be careful as to what it is that we consume out there, what we put in our spirits, what we put in our minds, and is it, again, as you were saying earlier, is it aligned with our purpose? Is it aligned with what it is that we're supposed to do? And if it is not, then it's got to go. Because a lot of that stuff is just clouding our vision. It's making you miss your whole purpose, your whole destiny, because you're looking at what somebody else is doing. That's not even reality.
Exactly. You're looking at what somebody else is doing, taking your eyes totally off the prize, which is your destiny. Like when I teach about tunnel vision, and when you're going towards your goal, you have to have complete tunnel vision. You cannot be looking at what's going on to the left, what's going on to the right. I have one young lady that I talk to often, that I had to tell her, log off social media, just get off. Just put the phone down, delete the apps, and walk away, because you are comparing yourself to something and mentally, working yourself up, comparing yourself to something that is not real. Like, it's totally not real. I can take a picture and be smiling on that picture and post it, but in my original setting where I am, I can be livid, like not even happy, uncomfortable. Relationships are being compared to pretty pictures. People catch people on pictures and smiling, and they make a cute meme about it, and I want this kind of love. Like, you don't even know where that love come from, how that love even came up.
I'd be like, really?
Yes. Relationship goals. What? How you get what are the goals? Like, do you really know what these people went through to get to this picture? Do you know what went on after this picture? Do you even know these people? Crazy.
I'll, I'll tell you. And if you've been in a relationship for 5 minutes, you know it's not right.
He said for 5 minutes. Oh my God. But yeah, so it's like relation. And you know, when I see like these celebrities get married and stuff and people be like, relationship goals, I want to love like that. And then 3, 4, 5 months later they divorce. I'm thinking, do you still want that love?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that still the goal?
Goals. It's goals.
Yeah, relationship goal. Is that still the goal? That's still the goal you got, right? Because they're not together anymore, or he cheated on her. You know, it's crazy, but I appreciate this conversation. I'm quite sure my guests do too. But before we get ready to wrap this part up, I want you to tell us like how can we oh, I know what I want you to share. When did you have or what per se pushed you? I know you briefly hit on it, but what pushed you to be more than just Solange Lopes and go for your passion, chase after your passion, or just because a lot of people what I'm running into is people want to do things and they want to do more. Like I started doing stand up just
Mm-hmm.
off of one of my girlfriends kept bugging me and she bet me when we had a bet. I told her I don't do stand up. She's like, you should try it. I'm like, no, I don't do that. But I started and I love it. But it's not something that I really would have gotten out of my comfort zone and did. But I love it. Like I'm there now in the comedy club every month, you know, doing open mic because I love it. But I'm running into a lot of people that have these gifts and have, you know, they know what their passion is, but they just don't know how to jump or what step to take to actually get out and do it. What was that redefining factor for you?
Well, my answer is going to be very simple. I prayed on it, as I do with most of what I do. You know, that's where my guidance comes from. Of course, you know, you also prepare. We all live in the real world. You prepare financially. You prepare mentally, spiritually. But I believe that going back to the source. To really ask for guidance. That's what made the difference for me. I think there's a difference between just wanting to do something and going back and getting the confirmation. My faith is central to my life and to my business. You know, prayer is my business strategy, and that is how I came to the decision.
I appreciate that. So tell us how we can find you, how we can follow the Corporate Sister, how we can get in contact with you.
Well, you can find me on the Corporate Sister website at www.thecorporatesister.com. If you're on Instagram, please follow the Corporate Sister. Always looking for, you know, thriving women and the men who support us as well. I'm also on Facebook as the Corporate Sister, on Twitter at the Corporate Sis, and also on Pinterest as the Corporate Sister. So pretty much on every major social media platform. You can also email me at corporate@thecorporatesister.com, you know, for any questions or just to get started on the conversation of women and work. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear about your insights. This has been a pleasure doing this interview. I'm really honored and excited about it.
Yes, ma'am. You made my night tonight. I really do appreciate connecting with you. I appreciate just you taking the opportunity and agreeing to even interview with me and even talk to my audience. I really appreciate you taking out your time to talk to us. So I really appreciate you. I will be in touch because I'm a corporate sister.
Yes, girl. Yes.
Yes, girl.
Yes, this is Black Girl Magic.
Yes, ma'am. Black girl magic. Sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. Okay, so we're gonna let you go. I'm gonna get my second guest on the line here. Like I said, I'm gonna go to a quick break and get my second guest on the line. But I really appreciate you. I'm gonna get some more time in with you before this year ends because I know you have a lot. You're gonna have a lot more going on.
Awesome. Thank you so, so very much.
Thank you so much, corporate sister. I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
I've been burdened and I've been tried. I've been hurting with pain inside. I've had trouble on every hand. So many days I could barely stand. My hands got tired of holding on. Felt like I just could not go on. And every time I almost let go, God has kept me. Every time I almost let go, God has kept me. There've been times when I could not see. I had to cry myself to sleep. I've had people to walk away. I've been put down for my mistakes. And there've been times when I felt alone. I've had to walk some lonely roads, but every time I almost let go, God has kept me. And every time I almost let go, God has kept me. No. Times every now and then I wanted to throw the towel in. Didn't want to cry, didn't want to pray. Throw my hands in the air, just walk away. But God never left me, never let me go. His grace and mercy always held me close. Every time I almost let go, God has kept me. And every time I almost let go, God has kept me. Oh, God kept me. Yes, He kept me. Yes, He kept me. God kept me. God has kept me. Yes, He kept me. Yes, He kept me. Sometimes I'll stray away. God has kept me. God, He kept me. Yes, He kept me. Every time I made a mistake, God has kept me. God has kept me. Yes. Through storm and rain, God has kept me. Even through the sickness and pain. Yeah. Sometimes with tears and blood, nobody but the Lord is. Yeah, I know the Lord has kept me. Every time I almost let go, God has kept me. Every time I almost let go, God has kept me. I've been burdened and I've been tried. I've been hurting with pain inside. I've had trouble on every hand. So many days I could barely stand. My hands got tired of holding on. Felt like I just could not go on. And every time I almost let go, God has kept me.
One sound, one gospel. 108praiseradio.com. Let all the people say amen.
I know that nothing is better for them than to rejoice.
One with the girl Halaveshia Hall, where we are empowering women one word at a time, and I am so grateful. Did y'all get a chance to listen to my first guest, the corporate sister? This lady is rocking and rolling in her own lane, and she had so many nuggets to drop for us, and I really appreciate her. Before I get to my second amazing guest, this woman who wars Remnant Warrior Global Champion. I see Remnant Warrior Global say they present on the 108 Praise Radio Live app. Thank you, ma'am, DD Gaines, for tuning in. That's your shout out for the night, DD Gaines. But before we get into that, I want to give you guys my thought for today and for the week, that you guys take this for the next 7 days with you guys. And my thought to leave you with, in case we get a little, because we're going to talk tonight, in case we get, to talking and I forget. I want you guys to know that there's actually strength in letting go and walking away and or facing the unknown. See, no one knows what goes on behind the scene and how much courage and strength it takes for someone to walk away from a career, a job, a city, a relationship, etc. And it's oftentimes deemed as being fear, but that's strength behind that. So never, ever think that you're weak, or you're a punk, or you're lazy, you can't do it because you have to give up on something. And you're not giving up because you have to walk away, because your peace matter, because your life matter, your future matters, your passion matter, you matter. There is strength in letting go. Let go, that's gangster. So I want y'all to hold on to that all week. Let go, that's gangster. You want to be gangster? You want to be hard? Let go, baby. Because there's some strength that come behind that. Nobody knows what it takes to build up to those moments when you really decide to cut ties and say, I'm out. I'm following my passion. I'm living the life that God created for me. Nobody knows what it takes. So you. Be the best you that you can be. Let go, gangster. And I deem you gangster. Now to my wonderful guest on the line all the way from the Carolinas. I got Miss Adrienne Young on the line, the Remnant Warrior Global Queen International. Adrienne, what's going on your side of the world?
Let me just talk about how you were your moment of reflection is my testimony, how I left my career of 16 years in education to do Remnant Warriors Global Incorporated just last year.
What? You better run.
Girl,
don't make me run around this studio now. Okay.
Listen, run, honey. Pass me the baton, because that is my testimony. I was very comfortable being a school counselor for 16 years. And very comfortable being a choir director, very comfortable doing praise team, very comfortable teaching Bible study. And then one day, I couldn't teach Bible study on campus. So I told my church, they were like, please teach. I said, I can't. My children have track. They was like, please teach. I said, I really cannot. And God said, why don't you do it online? And I'm looking at him side-eye like, online? Where? How do I do that? And I had just started following Kelly Elaine. Of the Warrior Nation. And I started following her through DD Gaines, who you gave a shout out to. She invited me to watch her Facebook Live one day. And God said, why don't you do Facebook Live and do Bible study? Oh, okay, we'll try this. So I tweeted one day that I was doing a Bible study on women who are praying and the power of prayer. And if you want to be involved, I'm going to do it on Facebook. Here's the group. So I prayed. I said, God, give me 100 women to join in to do this. Girl, within a week, we had 3,000 women signed up for this Bible study online.
Oh, my God.
Totally not what I had in mind at all. But they showed up faithfully for 10 weeks. I had women calling in on the conference line, and we had women online, and they showed up, and they did the work. Lives were being changed. Prayers were being answered. So when it was about to close, I was like, I can't leave these 3,000 women. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
And God was like, Well, here's a name, Remnant Warriors Global Incorporated, which he basically chose 16 of us at that time out of those 3,000 to pray and fast and do watches 24 hours a day for 10 days. We prayed, we fasted, asked the God, what do we do next? And that's how he birthed the conference. But in between all of that, sister, this is the thing. I had no intentions of leaving my job. None. Because I was promised I was going to get a promotion. They were building a new building. The office was going to be glass. My office was bigger than the principal's in this brand new private school where my children were very much treated like gold. And everything was wonderful. Everybody loved me. Why would I leave that to not have no money? I literally don't know what I'm going to do next. And I literally wrestled with God. And after I finally said yes, within, I think, a couple of days after we started praying and fasting, we contacted somebody to get a nonprofit. We were like, we're going to do this. Let's do this. And got a nonprofit status within a month.
Wow.
That's unheard of.
That's
unheard of.
That is totally unheard of. They telling me, they saying 90 days, and I'm excited. You know, a month. We were just talking about this with the first guest of how when you do things in alignment with God, how they line up. Alignment. That's why it's alignment. And it's so amazing. Like, so you telling me that what you had set up before you that was looking really, really good, and you had the fear of following what God had for you because of what you can see. But when you decided to jump for what you couldn't see, I want you to just confirm this, that's way better than what you had set up in front of you that you could see.
Yes.
Don't make
because
us...
now, I mean, I don't have as much money right now. I will say that. I don't have a coworker to call or whatever. But what I do have is freedom to go get my children whenever I want to. I have 2 sons. I have freedom. My husband needs me. I can go and get them. I have freedom to spend my day doing whatever God has destined me to do. I'm in seminary full-time, got a full-ride scholarship to do seminary. So I'm able to take 3 classes and get my MDiv and later on my doctorate. And I get to spend time with you. I get to spend time with my tribe of the women who war. I get to travel. I get to preach. I get to teach the word of God. And that blows me away that people want to hear me and will sometimes pay me. You know, and it blows me away. Sometimes I think, oh, my God, I'm crazy. I need to go back to my job. I need to go back to where I'm comfortable. But for what? What would I do then? Like, if I quit now, what would I do? I would have no purpose. And if my purpose is to be the mouthpiece of God and go wherever he is and wherever he sends me, I got to have a calendar that's free enough for me to do that. So, yes, I can say since I left my job in May up until this point, almost 6 months later, this is the best thing I've ever did in my life.
You have peace.
Ooh, honey, I wake up when I want to. Now, God don't know that I don't work no more, so he wakes you up at 3 or 4 o'clock. Like, he didn't realize that MLK was a holiday yesterday, so I still have to work. But the peace, my home is peaceful. My husband don't have to worry about it. Well, sometimes we still do Burger King, but, you know, he has peace to come home to. He knows I'm going to take care of things. Things around the house don't get neglected. That's the big part that I love about it more than anything. So, yeah, the peace that I'm in the will of God, that I'm doing exactly what he ordained and called me to do, far outweighs the comfortableness of a job.
That's what we've been talking about. I guess it's just a night for purpose, passion, and peace. How about that? That's what we're going to hook that up. The 3 P's tonight. You're going to live on purpose, follow your passion, and find your peace. That's what we're doing up in 2018.
Give God praise. Give God a praise.
Right now, praise. I so love talking to you. This is amazing. Like, that's why I love doing what I do. I love connecting with women, the women of God. This is so amazing to me. Just to even think of how we met, how we even end up on this phone call tonight. I'm just amazed with God. I'm just excited to be a vessel to provide a platform for women like you to get out there and, like you said, make God famous tonight. That's what we do.
Yeah.
So tell me about Remnant Warriors.
Remnant Warriors Global Incorporated, we are a nonprofit organization, and our whole purpose is for every woman and girl across the globe to know how powerful they are in God and to walk in their kingdom authority. One of the things that really bothered me as a woman is women who would cry and complain instead of realizing, listen, you have authority over the enemy. You do not have to whimper and crouch down and be a weak person when you are literally seated in heavenly places with Christ Jesus above all of that. So our whole premise is we literally, every event we do, every prayer gathering, every book we write, everything that we have is premised around letting women know you are more powerful than what you think you are, and you have kingdom authority. And it's our job and it's our mandate to so train warriors to know who they are so that they don't fight, but they war. There's a huge difference. I'm not going to go into that too much tonight because that's part of my sermon at the conference.
Okay.
But it's all in the warrior that God has called and ordained you to be. And that means sometimes you don't have to fight. God fights for us, but there's ways and tactics that we like to train our women with prayer, with praise, with worship, with taking communion, those little things like that, the strategies that they can use against the enemy in the spiritual realm so that it can affect their natural realm. Because anytime you're attacked in the natural, that means something's going on in the spiritual, and we got to go in and let the enemy know, not today, you're not having it. This is the woman who wars, and we're not going to have it today.
Not today. You can choose any other day, but not today. And tomorrow don't look too bright either.
Come on.
Right?
Hello, somebody.
So I want to know about this this Warrior Arise conference. When women moving from the field to the front line. I heard it's taking place January 26th through the 27th, and it's somebody's birthday.
It's somebody's birthday. Somebody's going to be 40.
Birthday.
27th. My God, I can't believe I'm going to be 40. This literally birthed out of when I was 35 years old, and I was standing in my living room, and I thought, oh, my God, 5 years from now, I'm going to be 40. I am going to Hawaii. Like, that was my plan. I was like texting my sister and my girlfriends, girls, let's go ahead and save our money. And good Lord Jesus shut me down in the middle of my living room and said, nuh-uh, you're going to host a women's conference and you're going to preach at it. I'm looking at him like, yeah, right, God. Right now, I'm not feeling that. But I literally put the date. I scrolled up in my little iPhone calendar and put 40th year birthday women's conference. I did. Mm-hmm. And I pondered it in my heart. And I prayed about it. I only let a couple people know at that point in time. And so when God birthed the remnant through that 10-day prayer and fasting, that was the thing that came out of it. I remember my sister Shakima, she said, Adrienne, God is using this to birth the conference that you're supposed to do for your 40th birthday. So we prayed about it. What are we going to call it? And so that we had the tagline before we had the name, women moving from the field to the front line. Thinking about David, you know, how he was with Goliath, when he was with the shepherd, he was with the sheep, he was killing everything out in the field. And then when he moved to the front line, he was literally slaying giants that he really wasn't supposed to be fighting. And then God said, Warriors Arise. The Warriors Arise conference, it is for girls grades 3 through 5. We call them our Princess Warriors,
okay.
Who will come together. Our awesome facilitators, Jasmine Hardier and Minister Edwina Perrin. Listen, I'm going to their session because
be with the babies. They got the hookup.
Yeah. We're teaching our babies how to war. And I saw last night they were showing us little cards they'll have laminated. They will have scriptures on there that teach them who they are, what they can do to memorize the word of God that can keep inside of them. We're going to teach them how to pray, how to be fearfully and wonderfully made, not to be ashamed of God even at this early age. And then for the women, it's dynamic. It's just ridiculous because God is going to blow our mind. He's already showed us that miracles literally are going to take place. Dr. Kelly E. Lane from Warrior Nation is going to bring the word on Friday night, and she has already said, I'm calling the healing line. Oh. I was like, okay, here we go. Let's do it. And we had a sister call us 2 weeks ago on an attendee and said, I have somebody who's on disability as a disabled. They're in a wheelchair. I'm like, bring them on. They ain't going to be leaving.
Gonna roll up in there, but they going to walk right up out of there.
Come on.
How about that?
But you walk out.
You roll in,
we
but
are
you walk out.
Yes, to release healing. to release a sound. We are literally recording a song called The Sound that night that will be released for the first time at the conference. In addition to that, we have a wonderful dance ensemble, the Worship and Warriors, who are coming to minister with us. And then on that Saturday morning, my sister in Christ, Minister Mona Cunningham, who just honey, she slayed demons waking up. You hear me?
Okay.
She's going to do Morning Glory, and then yours truly, we get to do the final commission, as I'm calling it, right after that. So it'll be from like 8 in the morning to 11. But the visions that we have seen is literally a sea of women, just like in God, slain, ready. What do you want me to do, God? Because this is what I'm ready to do. So that's what we're going to be doing that night. It's going to be amazing. God has already told us it's going to be a Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Okay.
Night is 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., 11 p.m., because I know we ain't going to be out the floor by that night. Okay. And then 8 a.m. to 11. Doors are going to open at 7 a.m. on Saturday, 6 p.m. on Friday. Mama D, if I'm wrong, correct me. Even though if you can't be in the building in Charlotte, North Carolina, we have an online warrior package. Meaning we're saying get your girlfriends, get some co-workers. We have an online warrior. We will be live streaming the entire conference. We're praying that the same power, the same glory that's in the building would hit the homes. I know there's been many a times when I have been in prayer gatherings and I'm watching live stream, maybe Apostle Eckhart or Pastor John Hanna, and that same authority and power, I'm physically feel like I'm there with them, and that's our prayer. So we've had quite a few women who have bought the online warrior thing and inviting some girlfriends to come over, their families, and just be as if they are there. So if people can physically come to Charlotte, get at least the live stream it.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to get this thing wrapped up. I do appreciate you calling in tonight. All the information is on the flyers that I have posted on my page. I tell you, this WWW team you got going on up in here, Risa Howard, Dee Dee Gaines, who else we got up in here? Latasha Johnson. They got all the information you, your mama, and your auntie gonna need to make it to Remnant Warrior Global, baby. It's all up in here. They got a Brittany say it's a Warriors watch party. So get your tailgate. You can watch Brittany. I'm talking about WWW is all up in here live stream, and I appreciate all of you guys for all the information. Look, Adrian, I appreciate you calling in. We gotta get together another time before this year is over. I'm trying to see what my schedule look like to see if I can make it to Charlotte, North Carolina by Saturday morning. I know I can't do it Friday night because this little girl decided to play basketball, but I'm trying to see what I can work out or what I can get my hands on and get up there and get slayed in the spirit and lay out, because I need it.
There, I'll get you in the door. You can be my special guest. How about that?
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to see what we can do. We're going to shake and bake. And if I can't, I'm going to find y'all. I'm coming to Charlotte. Y'all going to see me before the end of this year. I promise you that. So I appreciate you for calling in. Thank you guys for tuning in with Women 101. Adrian, I had such an amazing conversation with you. I'm glad that we connected. This is not the end. Wishing you just the best on your women's conference. Just the presence of my grandmother here in the studio with me. Grandma, I thank you just for being here with me and for this peace, God. I thank you for the night that you have given me. I thank you for every woman that tuned in, every man that tuned in, every heart that is clear, everybody that's on this line and watching this and hearing my voice that just wants to be better, do better, and the women that are intentional about their lives, God. Touch them wherever they may be. Give them peace tonight. Tell them that you run the night shift. Go to bed. He got this. Amen. You guys have a good night. Thank you for tuning in. I love you. Have a great day.
Night.
Good night, Adrian.
Your love is so amazing. Never